Hey Rise fam, we are getting really close to our 3-day breakthrough, and I am tremendously excited that you're going to join us for this 3-day period. And as I was personally preparing for it, I wrote down a couple of notes in my little note app on my phone, and they're things that I've done in the past that have really helped set me up for success during a season of fasting, and I thought I would share them to you all really quick. So it's 4 little things that I think will really make a difference as you enter into this 3-day season. The first one is write down what you're fasting and why you're fasting. It's very important to specifically outline what you're fasting. Are you doing a 3-day fast where you're having no food at all, only water? Are you doing a 3-day fast where you're only doing liquid meals? Are you doing a 3-day fast where you're not eating a particular meal? Or maybe you're cutting out some social media, or maybe it's whatever that modified fast or full fast that you're doing. Write that down. And if you're looking for tips on what that could be, on the website under the 3-day breakthrough area, there's a list of different kinds of fasts you can do. None of them are better than the other. They're just tailored depending on what season of life you're in and kind of what your limitations are physically and maybe even spiritually. So I would definitely suggest write down what you're fasting, but not only what you're fasting, but why are you fasting? It's so easy 12 hours in to have amnesia and not remember exactly what you're trying to do during this 3-day period. Is it simply to jumpstart your spiritual life? You've gotten off track a little bit. Is there a particular habit or hang-up that's crept in over the last year that you know you got to get rid of? Is there a decision coming up and you really need the Lord's guidance to give you wisdom on that? Whatever it is, go ahead and identify the why. Because the what is actually a little bit easier, but when you know the why behind the what, you are definitely set up for a greater chance of success. And so that's the first thing, identify the what and the why. The second thing is let some people know. Now there's that passage that talks about don't let your face be gloomy and don't go, oh, woe is me, I'm suffering from the Lord. Like, absolutely, this is not a show off your faith or flex your faith, but doing this in community is a great thing. Others knowing what's going on is a wonderful thing, not only just for spiritual accountability, but for the practical side of it. So for example, in our home, I'm the only one who's going to be doing a full food fast where it's only water for those 3 days. And it's not because the rest of my family isn't spiritual, it's that it's not a good idea for my little kids to not eat for 3 days. That's a bad idea. It's not a good idea for my wife who's nursing our youngest to not eat for 3 days. That's a bad idea. But I want to tell them what I'm doing and know what they're doing so that when dinner comes around, there's not some expectations that have not been talked about and we're having to navigate how to talk to our kids about it, and maybe one of us made too much food or too little food. Letting people in your family know will definitely help you out, and it also provides a level of accountability. Now, perhaps you are in a situation where your family would not resonate at all with what you're doing. It still is a courtesy just to let them know and maybe get a friend to help you be accountable to that. So the second thing is let some people know, particularly your family. It's going to help you out on the logistical side of it. The third thing, and this is probably getting even more important as we're going down, is to have a plan laid out. What do I mean by have a plan? When are you going to be reading and praying? We're going in this rhythm of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, finding a time during breakfast to replace physical nourishment with spiritual nourishment. The same thing during lunch, the same thing during dinner, if you're doing the approach that many of us are. If you're doing that, what time are you going to be reading the Bible and praying? Not only what time are you going to be doing it at, but where are you going to be doing it at? Is it going to be at a spot in your home? Like right here is probably where I will do it oftentimes for these next 3 days. If you're at work, is there a spot you can carve out? Do you need to go to your car? Do you have everything laid out for that? Not only when are you going to be doing it, but where are you going to be doing it? The what is also important. What are you going to do during that 15-minute period or 30-minute period or 60-minute period? What are you going to fill that time with? Hopefully it is a prayer list where you're praying through specific things. Hopefully it's also following along with the reading plan that we're doing. And if you go to the church website and click on the reading plan button under 3-day breakthrough, you will see what we're going to be reading together as we go through it. Now, I want to let you know that when you see this reading plan, there may be this, oh my goodness, this is a ton of scripture we're going to read. Because on day 1, we're going to read through the entire book of Philippians. On day 2, we're going to read through the entire book of Colossians. And on day 3, we're going to go through the entire book of Ephesians. And that sounds absolutely huge, but let me just tell you how long this is going to take. It might surprise you. I opened up the Bible app on my phone and pressed the little play button where it reads it back to me. And if you were to follow our plan, the longest period of time you would spend in the Bible app, if you were just reading it only, would be 6.5 minutes. So this is not a huge amount of reading, but if you compound it and you get it laid out over these 3 days, you'll find you'll be ingesting a decent amount of scripture, which is definitely going to change how you process through the different things that God is doing in your life. So know where you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, what you're going to do. Make sure you have the right supplies. You don't want to get up tomorrow morning all ready just to press in, and then you go, I don't know where my Bible is. I left it at work. I don't know where my notebook is. Where's my pen at? No, have all your stuff laid out. I think that's a good principle in general in life, but have it all laid out so you are set up for success. That will really, really help you out. That's the third thing, is have a plan on what you're going to be doing. The last one, super easy, super helpful. Drink a ton of water and go to bed early. A good night of sleep and proper hydration will make you a better person, and it will make you a happier person, a healthier person as you enter into the scriptures in the morning, and that will really help you out. So those 4 things are things that I practice that I found very helpful. I think they'll help you out as well. A reminder that we will be gathering physically tomorrow at 6 a.m. at the 4 Point Sheraton, where we have our Sunday morning service. From 6 to 7, we're going to be praying, going through the prayer list that's also found on the church website under the 3-day breakthrough portion. We'll be praying together, going through that. There'll be a brief teaching that's done from the text in our reading plan for that moment. We'll also be live streaming that if you want to join us. We will then be reposting that at 8 a.m. if you want to tune in then, sending out a devotional at noon and sending out a devotional at 5 p.m. as well, all 3 days. I would love for you to engage with us either online or in person. It's going to be a great 3-day season as we believe that God is going to move in our life, and always believing that the best is yet to come. If you have any questions, if you need any tips, hit me up. I'd love to come alongside of you as you enter into this 3-day season, and I know God's going to do some great things in your life. I will see you guys in the morning.